Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Chinamine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesya Sunyavadi Pasachade Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Jinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gorangira De Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakau Patarubhescha Kripa Sindhu Bhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, welcome to our daily reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. By my own purification, I do this reading, and all those who hear are going to be purified by hearing the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we're going to read today from Canto 3, the Status Quo, Chapter 3, the pastimes of Lord Krishna out of Vrindavana, text 10. It's a text that's speaking by Uddhava to Vidura. He was remembering Lord Krishna's leelas, Lord Krishna's pastimes in Dwarka, Mathurā, after when he left Vrindavana. So today is the verse number 10, translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I beg you to give me, to offer me your blessings so I can find the right words, and please forgive all my shortcomings and forgive my broken English. So the verse is as follows. Kāla-māgadha-śālvādīn anīkai rundhataḥ puram ajīghanat svayaṁ divyam sva-puṁsāṁ teja ādiśat. Kālayavana, Magadha, the king of Magadha, Jarāsandha, Sālva, King Śālva, ādīn and others, anīkai, by the soldiers, rundhataḥ, being encircled, puram, the city of Mathurā, ajīghanat, killed, svayam, personally, divyam, transcendental, sva-puṁsāṁ, of his own man, teja, prowess, ādiśat, exhibited. Translation. Kālayavana, the king of Magadha, and Śālva attacked the city of Mathurā. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Again the verse. Kālayavana, the king of Magadha and Śālva, attacked the city of Mathurā. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Purport. After the death of Kansa, when Mathurā was encircled by the soldiers of Kālayavana, Jarāsandha and Sālva, the Lord seemingly fled from the city, and thus he is known as Ranchor, or one who is fled from fighting. This is one of the wonders of the Lord. He is known as Ranchor. Ranchor is a coward person. Ranchor is one who flees from the battlefield. There is a code amongst the warriors that when you challenge a warrior, he has to accept the fight. And Krishna, he was challenged to the war by these different demons. Jarāsandha, Kālayavana, what's his name? Kālayavana. And Krishna, he just flew the battlefield. And then he is known as Ranchor. So Prabhupada explains here that after the death of Kansa, when Mathurā was encircled by the soldiers of Kālayavana, Jarāsandha and Sālva, the Lord seemingly fled from the city, and thus he is known as Ranchor. So after the death of Kansa, he had two wives, and these wives of Kansa, they become a widow. They become a widow, and these wives of Kansa, they were the wives. They were the daughters of Jarāsandha. So Jarāsandha had a very intimate connection with Kansa. So what happened is that Jarāsandha, after the death of Kansa, he tried to, I don't find the word now, he wanted to go against the Lord, and he tried to capture his city, Mathurā. So and then Jarāsandha, he sent a big army to destroy Mathurā. But Lord Krishna was very powerful. Lord Krishna and Balarama, and they stood up and they protect the city of Mathurā. So the army of Jarāsandha was so strong that it looked like a big wave of the ocean when it reached the banks of the ocean. When it reached the sands of the ocean. So Jarāsandha attacked Krishna, and not just once, but it says that he attacked Mathurā 13 times, and Krishna always was victorious. Krishna and Balarama, they always were victorious. And the first time when Jarāsandha tried to capture Mathurā, tried to capture Lord Krishna and Balarama, they fought so valiantly that they conquered Jarāsandha. And Balarama was so strong that he catch hold of Jarāsandha and he imprisoned him. With the ropes of Varuna, he bound Jarāsandha. But Krishna, he told Balarama, no, let him go, just let him go. And Jarāsandha was freed from the anger of Balarama. And actually that was a big shame, because a warrior, he has to be either victorious or defeated. He cannot be released. But he was so shameless, he went back to his capital, and actually he wanted to renounce this material world. He wanted to go to the forest and practice renunciation. But all the princes that were around Jarāsandha, they convinced him, no, you have to keep fighting with the Lord. That was just some ill luck, but you're going to win the next time. And for 13 times, Jarāsandha tried to win Mathurā, and he was not successful. And finally, Krishna defeated him completely. So when he was fleeing from the battle, when he was known as Ranchor, this was in the 14th fight with Jarāsandha. And he did that actually because he wanted to meet Rukmini Devi. This is another story. But Krishna, he just abandoned the fight. So Krishna, he built a big fort after all that. So this fort in Dwarka. This is another one. It says here Kālayavana. No? We are talking about Jarāsandha, but Kālayavana was another one who tried to capture Mathurā as well. So with the combined force of Jarāsandha and Kālayavana. But Krishna was so powerful that he single-handedly he started to walk around the army of this Kālayavana. He was just walking without any weapon. And he was just walking around, and Kālayavana saw Krishna. Actually, Kālayavana saw Krishna. He was completely amazed because he was just amazed by the beauty of Lord Krishna. And Krishna started to walk around him, and Krishna started to run. And Kālayavana started to run after Krishna. He started to run after Krishna, but as Krishna was running so fast, Kālayavana could not follow the pace of the Lord. And he was following Krishna. And Krishna was running. And Krishna, he decided to enter in a cave. When Krishna entered in a cave, so there was a man sleeping in that cave. So Krishna entered that cave. And then Kālayavana was following the Lord, and he entered in the cave. When he saw that man is sleeping on the floor, on the ground, so he thought, oh, that's Krishna. He's afraid of me. And he immediately kicked that man. When he kicked that man woke up. And that man was so angry because he was being awake, that from his eyes flames of fire just destroyed Kālayavana. Destroyed completely, put him as ashes. He became ashes. So that was, as it says here, that it's going to say here, actually, this is the verse, actually the fact was that the Lord wanted to kill them through the agents of his own men. Devotees like Mucukunda and Bhīma, Kālayavana, and the King of Magadha were killed by Mucukunda and Bhīma respectively, who acted as agents of the Lord. So this man who was lying down in the cave was Mucukunda. This Mucukunda, he was in the lineage of King Ikshvaku. He was a very great, powerful king. And he used to fight for the demigods. Lord Indra would invite him to fight against the asuras, the demons. And he was so valiant fighter. He was so valiant fighter, he wouldn't sleep, and he was just fighting, and helping the demigods to conquer the demons, to conquer the asuras. And Kartikeya, who is the commander-in-chief of Lord Indra, he was so pleased with this Mucukunda that he offered him a blessing. He told him, you have fought so valiantly, and now I want to offer you a blessing. And the day Mucukunda asked, okay, the only thing that I want is to sleep. I'm just so tired, I want to sleep. So Kartikeya gave these blessings to Mucukunda that he could sleep and no one would disturb him. He could sleep as much as he wanted and no one would disturb him. If someone would disturb him, he had this power to kill that person with his eyes, just with the flames of fire from his eyes. And then Mucukunda, he killed, just a second here. Mucukunda, he killed Kālayavana. So the purport of Srila Prabhupada again, actually the fact was that the Lord wanted to kill them through the agents of his own men, the devotees like Mucukunda and Bhīma. Kālayavana and the King of Magadha were killed by Mucukunda and Bhīma respectively, who acted as agents of the Lord. By such acts, the Lord wanted to exhibit the prowess of his devotees, as if he were personally unable to fight, but his devotees could kill them. So in this way, Krishna, he empowers his devotees to do wonderful things. Just so the devotees will be more glorified than him. Like Bhīsma. Bhīsma Deva, he was so glorified. Krishna could give insights of spiritual life to Maharaja Yudhishthira, but in order to make Bhīsma famous, at the time of his death, when Bhīsma, he chose his own time for dying, so Maharaja Yudhishthira approached him, asking relevant questions about the existence, about the world, about our relation with the world. And Bhīsma Deva, he gave answers, and he enlivened Yudhishthira Maharaj. This is all reported in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Krishna, he sometimes makes his devotees to be more glorious than himself. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he was completely, he was inundating all over India with the holy names of Krishna. He could establish bhakti as a devotional service as the main religion in India. Everywhere, every town, every village, every city, everywhere, the holy names of Krishna, they were flooding everywhere. So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he preached only in India. But he gave the honor to preach all over the world to his dear servant, Abhayacharan Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada became more glorious than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he did what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't. He preached all over the Western world. He gave Krishna consciousness everywhere. There is no country where people do not know about the glories of Krishna, about the glories of the holy name. So Krishna empowers his devotees so they can become even more famous than Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada says here, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is a very happy one. Actually, the Lord descended at the request of Brahma in order to kill all the undesirables of the world. But to divide the share of the glory, he sometimes engaged his devotees to take the credit. So as Lord Brahma, he summoned Lord Krishna and asked him to come down to save the earth planet, to save the world of the burden of demonic kings. And Krishna, he descended, but he used his devotees to participate in his lila of annihilating the demons. So he used, as it says here, Mucukunda to kill Kālayavana. He used Bhima's Deva to kill Jarāsandha. At the end, Jarāsandha was killed by Bhīma. So, in this way, Krishna, he empowers his devotees to help in his mission of paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam, to annihilate the miscreants. Srila Prabhupada says here, the Battle of Kurukṣetra was designed by the Lord himself, but just to give credit to his devotee Arjuna, nimitta-mātraṁ bhava savyasati, he played the part of charioteer. Here is another example. Arjuna became so glorious because he was the one who won the Battle of Kurukṣetra. He was the hero of the Battle of Kurukṣetra. So he played the part of a charioteer, Krishna, while Arjuna was given the chance to play the fighter and thus become the hero of the Battle of Kurukṣetra. This verse is described in the chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, the universal form, and the verse 33. It says there, Tasvam tvam utista yasola vaswa jitva shatrum bhunkswa rajam samridam mayavaite nihata purvam eva nimitta-mātraṁ bhava savyasati. Krishna says to Arjuna, therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasati, can be but an instrument in the fight. So Krishna is encouraging Arjuna, get up, prepare to fight and win this glory. Because actually, the battlefield of Kurukṣetra was over. Krishna had killed everybody already. But he gave this glory. Like, who can destroy all this universe? Of course, the Lord Krishna. But to who he gave the glory, or will give the glory to destroy this material universe? Lord Shiva. So, in this way, Krishna has a very beautiful relationship with his devotees. He always gives them strength so they can carry on his own mission. So Prabhupada finishes the purport. What he wants to do himself by his transcendental plans, he executes through his confidential devotees. That's the way of the Lord's mercy towards his pure, unalloyed devotees. So what he wants is to execute through his confidential devotees. He makes his devotees to work for him, so in order to glorify his own devotees. So this is the verse for today. So let me read the next verse. Verse 11. Actually, the verse today was 10. I said 11. Today was verse 10. So, and then followed verse 11. Shambaram dividam bana muram bauvalam evacha anyanscha dantavrakradin avadi kams cha gattaya Shambaram shambara dvivida banam muram bauvala evacha, as also anya others, cha also dantavakra ādīn, like Dantavakra and others, avadit, killed, kancha, and many others, gattayat, caused to be killed. Translation: O kings, like Shambhara, Dvivida, Bana, Mura, Bauvala, and many other demons, such as Dantavakra, some he killed himself, and some he caused to be killed by others, like Baladeva and the others. So this is Uddhava speaking to Vidura. The next verse 12, Atate bidatri prutranam pakshayo pachitam nipam chachala bhu kurukṣetram yesham apatatam balai. Ata thereafter te yora birat putranam of the Nephils, pakshayo of both sides, patitam killed, nripam kings, chachala shook, buhu the earth, kurukṣetram the battle of Kurukṣetra, yesham of whom, apatatam traversing, balai by strength. Translation. Then, O Vidura, the Lord caused all the kings, both the enemies and those on the side of your fighting Nephils, to be killed in the battle of Kurukṣetra. All those kings were so great and strong that the earth seemed to shake as they traversed the war fields. The next verse, 13. Sakarna dushashana sabalanam kumantra pakinahatashyayusam suyodanam sanucharam shayanam baginnarum urvyanananda pashyam. Saha, he, the Lord Karna, Dushashana, Sabalanam, Sobala, Kumantra Pakina, by the intricacy of ill advice. Hata Shriya, bereft of fortune. Ayusha, duration of life. Suyodanam, Duryodhana, Sa Anuchara, with followers. Shayana, lying down. Bhagna, broken. Urum, tights. Urvyam, very powerful. Na, did not. Nananda, take pleasure. Passion, seeing like that. Translation. Duryodhana was bereft of his fortune and duration of life because of the intricacy of ill advice given by Karna, Dushashana and Sobala. When he lay on the ground with his followers, his tights broken, although he was powerful, the Lord was not happy to see the scene. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The fall of Duryodhana, the leading son of Dhritarashtra, was not pleasing to the Lord, although he was on the side of Arjuna, and it was he who advised Bhima how to break the ties of Duryodhana while the fight was going on. The Lord is constrained to award punishment upon the wrongdoer, but he is not happy to award such punishments because the living entities are originally his parts and parcels. He is harder than the thunderbolt for the wrongdoer and softer than the rose for the faithful. The wrongdoer is misled by bad associates and by ill advice, which is against the established principles of the Lord's order, and thus he becomes subject to punishment. The surest path to happiness is to live by the principles laid down by the Lord and not disobey his established laws, which are enacted in the Vedas and the Puranas for the forgetful living entities. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So this is all for today. Thank you so much for hearing, and tomorrow we'll be back with more reading of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Prabhupada.